Greetings everyone. Today we're going to explore solving multi-step inequalities, which we have been doing, but today we're going to have variables on both sides. To make this a little easier, you do want the handout for today. If you don't have access though, make sure to jot these down in your notes. These steps should look familiar. We're just going to fill in the blanks again. So let's start off with, we're going to eliminate parentheses by distribution. We're going to combine like terms on one or both sides. And here's our step we're adding to this particular lesson. We're going to add or subtract a variable term. Now, if you want to say add or subtract the letter to make it a little easier, that's fine too. Next, we're going to undo any addition or subtraction. We're going to undo any multiplication or division. Remember that if you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to flip the inequality. Now I'm zooming through these steps because we know all of these steps. All right, steps 1 through 5 are exactly the same as the unit on equations. The special rule in writing with the variable first is the only little extra piece for the inequalities. Now remember our acronym that can help us remember. Don't call me after midnight, meaning distribute, combine, move a letter, add, subtract, multiply, divide. So let's jump right into the examples. So first step, I'm going to keep going through the don't call me after midnight. Okay. First of all, we don't have any distribution. I don't have any combining on either side, so we're going to jump right into the move step. So we're going to move a variable. So I could either subtract 4n or subtract 5n. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. I'm going to choose to subtract 4n. Opposites go away. The 9 falls down. The symbol falls down. 5n's minus 4n's is 1n. And then the subtract 1 falls down. Next step is add or subtract. Do I want to move the 9 or the 1? Let's move the 1, right? Because if I move the 9, if I undo the 9, nothing's left, and that's no good. 9 plus 1 is 10. My inequality falls down, and my n falls down. Now, if you wrote 1n, you might divide by 1, but that's not going to change anything, right? So I can just be solved. Let's now follow my special rule. My request is that you write the letter first. So we're going to flip-floppity this one, meaning if I flip one, I flip all. It's another way to write the answer so that when I go to graph, it reminds me that I'm going to be a solid dot because of the line underneath, and I'm going to go to the right. Now, if you're struggling with how fast I'm going through this with some of these ideas, you'll want to watch the previous videos. Okay, we've gone over these steps. Other than the red step, we've gone over all these steps in the previous videos. So I am going to go a little quicker. Let's try another one. Draw a line down the symbol. We're going to work our way through don't call me after midnight. First step is distribution. I do have some distribution to take care of. I'm distributing a negative 2. So I get negative 8 and negative 14. Everything else falls down. Next step is combine. Yep, I have a regular 5 and a negative 14. If I put those together, I have negative 9. Everything else falls down. Next step is move a variable. Well, I don't need to do that new step on this one because there's only one letter. So don't move it because it wouldn't do anything, right? So my next step is addition or subtraction. So instead of minus 9, I'm going to add 9. 15 plus 9 is 24. Symbol falls down. Negative 8x falls down. And my last step is multiply or divide. Instead of times negative 8, divide negative 8. Opposites go away. Hold on, what did I just divide by? I just divided by a negative, which means I flip-flop the sign, make it obvious, obnoxious, big. The rest of the rules are as follows. The x falls down. 24 divided by negative 8 is negative 3. And take a look. I want you to write variable first. So we actually flip it again. So this is what I like to call a double flip. We flip because we divided by a negative, and we flip to write the variable first. That can happen. Nothing special, just follow the rules as always. So I have a solid circle going to the right. Alrighty, 2 more examples. Let's work our way through these steps. I'm going to draw a line down the inequality symbol. First step, distribute. I don't have any. Second step, combine. Oh, I do. If I look at that right side, I only have 2 things, but they can go together. If I have 8 x's and I subtract 3 x's, I have 5 x's. Everything else falls down. Next step is move a variable. Should I move the 8x or the 5x? Now normally I say you get to choose, right? But if I move the 5x, it's empty, and that's not good. So I'm going to move the 8x. Instead of positive, we're going to subtract. So when we move, we always add or subtract. The negative 15 falls down, symbol falls down. 5 subtract 8 is negative 3. All right, next is add or subtract. There's nothing to add or subtract, so we get to skip that step. And our last step is multiply or divide. So instead of times negative 3, let's divide by negative 3. Opposites go away. Oh, let's stop. What did I just divide by? I just divided by a negative, so we need to flip-flop the sign. Okay. All right, let's go about our business. The x falls down. Negative 15 divided by negative 3 is positive 5. Next, we want to write the variable first. So we do a true, complete flip-flop. So this is, again, what I like to call a double flip. Sorry, my handwriting's horrible there. I got to fix that. All right, that's what we call a double flip. We flipped because we divided by a negative, and we flipped to write the variable first. So on our number line, we're going to have an open circle, and it's greater than, so we're going to the right. All right, let's put all of these steps to work. This one looks longer because it is longer. We're going to go through every single step. So our first step is distribution. I am going to distribute a negative 3 into the parentheses. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21p. Negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18. Everything else falls down. Next step, combine. Combine. Well, look at that left side. I have a positive 18 and a negative 7. If I combine those, I have a positive 11. Right? We're not undoing them, we're just squishing them together. Everything else falls down. Next step is move. We need to move. Our options are we can subtract 21p or we can subtract 1p. What sounds easier? I agree. Let's take care of that 1. So instead of positive 1p, let's do minus 1p. Opposites go away. 21 minus 1 is 20p. The plus 11 falls down. Symbol falls down, and be careful, it's a negative 29 that falls down. Next step, undo any addition or subtraction. Should I move the 11 or the 29? I need to move the 11 because if I move the 29, it's empty. I don't want empty. So instead of positive 11, let's subtract 11. The opposites fall down. Or excuse me, the opposites go away. The 20p falls down. Negative 29 subtract 11 is negative 40. And our typical last step, I made a rainbow here. Instead of times 20, let's divide by 20. Now, that 20 is positive, so nothing special. The p falls down, the symbol falls down, and I have a -2. The letter's already first. That's good. So at -2, I'm going to be open, and I'm going to go to the left. Okay, so this is the perfect example. If you need to study later, jump back to this example in the video because it shows every little step. All right, make sure that today you take a look at Google Classroom to see what your task is. What's our goal? Are we preparing for any quizzes coming up or tests? Make sure you ask questions or work with another adult around the school if you need help. And until next time, have a good one.